Nigerians all are proud to serve our sovereign motherland.
Commemoration of the Day of African Child 2025, African Youth and Adolescent Network on Population and Development, AFRIYAN, in partnership with the United Nations Population Fund, has organized a national roundtable dialogue on advancing the rights of girls and young women in Nigeria. Adekbasi Ozaveje, National Coordinator of AFRIYAN, stated that the one-day dialogue was targeted towards having a robust conversation with policymakers in Nigeria who were responsive for youth development and work on ways to solidify the policy that will cover the protection of children and young people. She stated that having conversations with policymakers around budgeting, education, health, gender-based violence, and early child marriage is paramount to bring about the desired change expected by every Nigerian youth, and working closely with government in order to bring solution to the table of Nigerian youth and adolescents on development.
Today we are celebrating the African Day of a Child, and this is because we had to do a dialogue with our policymakers, that are responsible for youth development. So we're able to even understand, we had them accountable to us. They're able to tell us the things they've done around children and youth development, the policies that they're currently reviewing, and how we can even come in to make our own contributions and inputs on things that will solidify the policy that will cover the protection of children and young people, and they were able to share with us things they've done, their plans, and even open for collaborations with us. See intentional efforts from our government. We are tired of receiving aids from other agencies programming for us, thinking of our issues, trying to help us, while we have a system that are doing a lot to help, but we want to see that system is actually yielding results, because we want a stable structure. We want a steady budget allocation. We want to tell the government that we have mapped the youth-led organizations that have been validated. You're channeling your funds. We want to know the pool of funds from our own government that we, the youth responders in Nigeria, can apply to our own funding pool. We want to know which ones are allocated for youth programming, so that when we see a call from our own pool of funds from the government, all of us will be excited. We want to be funded by our own Nigerian pool fund for young people. Let it be that accessible. That is what we want to see every year, annual call from the government. So that's what I really want to see as a change. I don't want to ask too much, if that system is in place, I bet you we will see development of young people. We are all talking about sustainability. We're talking about change. When change is not starting from the people that are transiting in their age factor, the child growing to adolescent to youth, if they are not being groomed from that age range and they grow into above 36 years, they will keep repeating the same mistakes that our previous adults have done. They will get into powers, into position, and still mismanage and misuse. The same cycle will just repeat itself. But if we get it right at this age target, it gives us a better chance to say, oh yes, there is results. So I want to say that. I hope this gets to bring the result for us.
Also speaking, retired Honorable Aliyu Idris Zakari, Speaker, National Youth Parliament, represented by Honorable Ridwan Barde, Majority Leader, Nigerian Youth Parliament, said education is a stepping stone to greatness and encouraged young people to embrace education, as he called on the government to make access to loans more accessible to Nigerian youth.
Well, my message to the African child or Nigerian child is for the government is to try as much as possible to look into some of these rural areas that education is not really there, because there are parts of the country where education is still not there. So my message for the government is to try as much as possible to spread in their wings and look for those hooks and crannies that education is not there, and also to be able to sponsor education. The government is trying actually with the education loan that they're doing right now, and also to the parents, please we should try and avoid early marriage for our children.
So I think that this was a beautiful conversation organized by UNFPA and AFRIYAN. It's so important for young people, especially leaders, people who are actively working in a space and creating awareness where young people can have opportunities. So it's very important for us to have meetings like this conversation where we can interact and plan and decide the way forward, moving on and coming up with major key decisions. It is also very important that we had the Ministry of Youth represented here and the Youth Parliament. So today they have shared some of the projects that they are doing, the conferences that is coming up, some of the policies for the Youth Parliament, some of the bills and policies that they constantly keep developing to create opportunity for young people in Nigeria. And they've also made commitment to us today to say that they are open to collaborate with AFRIYAN and other youth organizations to ensure that whatever we are doing as youth organization is also reflected in what they are doing at that level.
This event is a table dialogue to enable us to have a robust conversation about the development of young people in the area of children, whereby the government can come in to support and other organizations who are working on putting child's rights straight. So those are the areas we are talking about. What part of the things that we're talking about is access to information whereby development can come. So this discussion is aiming at promoting young people in the area of access to the program that government is doing, other development like opportunities to programs like funding programs for young people. You can see that the Youth Parliament is also here in expanding this conversation, so they can as well take it in the grassroots and make policy that appeal to the development of young people. And the area of abuse, children are being abused and nobody stands for them. And these are the area strategy whereby we can bring out these children so that we fight for them and also get the right information and where we can follow up to fight for them.
The event was sponsored by the United Nations Population Fund and the UN agency that works to deliver a world where every pregnancy is wanted, every childbirth is safe, and every young person's potential is fulfilled.